People hate me. People hate you too. In fact, I don't think there's anyone in this world that doesn't have at least one person disliking them, right? I know hate is a strong word, but I use that to get your attention. But seriously, right? You can honestly say, oh, this person hates me for this reason. That person hates me for that reason, right? Like the word hate itself is thrown around just like whatever, right? Like, just, like saying, I love you, right? Do you actually mean that? Probably not. I don't know. I mean, not every time anyway, right? There are certain circumstances where you say I love you to somebody and you actually genuinely mean it. But at the same time, there's probably circumstances where you say I love you to somebody just as something to say at the time, right? Exactly, right? Right? Like if you're in a relationship and your partner says, I love you, right? And you say, I love you back, right? And just because they said it, there you go. Is that actually genuine or do you actually mean it? Some people don't take the time to think about that, right? Just like some people don't take the time to think about when they say that somebody hates them, or if they say that they hate somebody, right? It's just thrown out there. It's just one of those words that's just thrown out there just because, right? There's no other word that you can think of at the time. I mean, you can say that you dislike something that somebody doesn't mean that you dislike that person. Like, and then the opposite way. Like I've noticed with my friends that there are times, wait, I gotta turn off my phone. It's gonna beep at me. I know it's going to beep. It always does that when I'm not thinking. All right, there we go. Anyway, I noticed with my friends, right? Like yesterday's vlog, I mentioned that I ran into my friend Jamie, right? The only reason that he's never in my vlogs is because he doesn't like being on camera, and I respect that. So I just leave that part out. Unless there's something that's happening or whatever, like that one time that we were watching a video on his phone. Right? So, right, and I didn't get him in the video, but I got the video that was on his phone in the video, or in the vlog. But anyway, aside from that, right, like I was telling him something that I was proud about, right, like personal proudness. I was like, hey, blah, 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 blah. And he just looked at me. And then he went on about something else, right? Gave me the impression that he didn't even care about what I was saying. And I told him that too, like right then and there when he did that. I was like, what, you don't care about what I just said? He's like, oh yeah, I heard you, and blah, 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 right? And at first, it gave me the, like I said, it gave me the impression that he didn't care. But what it was, after he explained it, I realized that he just, I guess, didn't know how to respond to it or didn't have anything to say about it in return, right? And that's why he went on about whatever it was that he went on about. Right? It's like, okay, fine. So I thought about it. And it's like it was, like I said something that I was proud about or on my mind at the time. And then he returned with something that was on his mind at the time because he had nothing to say about what I said. Like he eventually said, "Oh, well, that's good for you. That's great." Like what I had to say. So that was good. But, and then, Messenger. Facebook Messenger, right? When you're talking to someone, it's just words on a screen. I've been saying this for years. That's all it is, just words on a screen. You can't tell a person's emotions or reactions or anything, like how they're thinking or how they mean what they say from the text that's on the screen, right? Like my friend Corey, every once in a while I'll tell him how much money I've earned on Atlas Earth, right? Because he has the app as well, right? So it's like, oh yeah, I've got this much and I have this many plots and blah, blah, blah. And he usually responds with a thumbs up or ah. And it's like, I can't tell if he doesn't care or if he just doesn't have anything to say. It's the same thing with Randy. I'll message him about something, an idea that I have or something like for a vlog or something that we could do when we hang out. And I won't hear from him for like a week or two. And then he'll eventually respond with, okay. What does that tell me? Right? Like, what does that tell you? If somebody responds to something that you say with just, okay, that they're not interested, right? That's the first thing that comes to mind. That person is not interested in what you're saying. They don't care. All right, fine. So I don't message him after that. I wait for him to message me just because of that, right? And then when I see him, I confront him about it, like not angrily or anything like that, but I ask him, like, what exactly do you mean by okay? And he tells me that he just says okay because he can't think of anything else to say at the time, right? Sometimes he'll engage in a conversation and we'll talk for like maybe half an hour to an hour about whatever. And then he just disappears off into the sunset and goes and does whatever it is that he's doing. And then I'm left there with, okay, go about your business. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to read people. It's hard to read certain people online, right? When all you have to go by is words on a screen, right? I've got a friend, Alfredo. Let's just call him Alfredo. He sends me voice clips. It makes sense that way, right? Because I can actually read how he feels and what he's saying, and because it's actual emotions and actual words, like verbalization. That's the key, right? When you can actually hear the emotion in the person's voice. That's a lot better than just reading words on the screen, right? Sure, I respond with, text because either I'm busy watching something or I'm on my computer on Facebook and just type it in. It's a lot easier for me than, I got to turn on my microphone and blah, 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 and respond that way, right? Or if I'm busy on my phone doing other things, I can't really respond, right? That's usually when I'm on Facebook on my computer because I'm busy doing something on my phone, right? Like either survey, game, whatever it is I'm doing at the time. Anyway, right? People usually message me when I'm busy. I can sit there. I can sit here for hours not doing anything. Just sitting here watching a movie or lying down on my couch, resting, sleeping, whatever. Nothing. But the minute I start doing something, right? Like starting a survey or playing a game or doing whatever, that's when people start messaging me. Is it annoying? Yes. It's very annoying. But the people themselves are not annoying, right? The conversation that I have with the person is not annoying. That's not the annoying part. The annoying part is that they're messaging me while I am busy and they haven't messaged me while I wasn't busy, right? That's the annoying part. I mean, you can't tell what somebody's doing when you message them. So you can't really blame them. You can't blame them. It's just the act of getting the message while you're busy is the annoying part, not the person themselves. I don't know. I don't know, man. But yeah, that's it. Like, so yeah. And then I've got these stalkers, toxic people, narcissistic people that, I don't know, right? They love to see me fail. They love to tell other people crap about me, right? So other people look at me in a negative light. Well, those people that have been making those comments on the past vlogs, I've muted them, right? So their comments no longer show up on my channel because of who they are and what they're doing or trying to do, right? I don't want that kind of negativity on my channel. If it was somebody I didn't know and somebody that had no clue about me and they were just saying stuff just because, that wouldn't bother me as much. But because of who these people are, I've muted them because they have no place in my life at all. At all. Right? I muted them on here, and I've also blocked them on Facebook so that they can't message me. Right? One of them I've actually unblocked, but I don't think they know that. I don't think they know that because I haven't gotten any messages from them, and I probably never will because whatever, right? This person blocked me first, and then I countered that and blocked them. And then maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, I unblocked them just to see if I would get a message. Never happened. It never happened. I never got the message. I never got a message from them. So in my mind, either they don't know that I unblocked them, or they do know that I unblocked them and they don't care. Either way, they're not in my life. I'm not associated with that person, and I actually feel a lot better not being associated with negative people. Right? Oh, you're just using people. No, I'm not using anybody. Anybody. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I don't talk about in my vlogs or videos or anything. Right? So people just assume that I don't do that. You know, like, oh, he's using Randy for this. He's using Randy for that. Like, no, I'm not. I'm not. I mean, if you really must know, behind the scenes, right, what you don't see in the vlogs is, yeah, sure, he's helping me out with my internet and my phone, mostly because I can't put those under my name. So he's got them under his name, and I am paying him for that, right? So he's not paying it out of his own money. Well, he kind of is at the time that the bills are due, right? But I do give him the money that he's paying to make up for that and to pay him back, which is another reason why I don't really have that much money to spend on myself, because I'm giving him the money so that I have the internet, so I have a phone, you know, because I need a phone number to stay in contact with my dietitian, my doctor, the diabetic clinic, you know, the housing that I'm in. Like, I need to stay in contact with these people. EIA, I need to stay in contact with them, right? I need to stay in contact with these people. So I need the phone line, which is under Randy's name, but I am paying him back every time he pays it. And in order to pay him back, I need to be online so I can do the surveys and play the games and all this stuff that earns me the money to pay him. Sure, EIA takes that off of me at the beginning of every month. But it's worth it because I have the services that I need, or the utilities that I need, to stay in contact with people, to earn the money, to pay him for the phone line and the internet. You know, it's all these things that are behind the scenes that I don't feel the need to talk about. But I guess I have to, because people are making up stuff. They're making up stories that, oh, he's not doing this, he's not doing that, he's using people. But I don't use people. I don't. Right? There was one comment that I got from a really stupid person that's been in my life, my entire life, that the only reason I go to church is to beg people for money. No. No. The number one reason why I'm going back to church now is because I've gone to church my entire life. I was born and raised in the Salvation Army, right? Literally. The hospital that I was born in is owned by the Salvation Army. And then I grew up going to church every Sunday in a Salvation Army church, right? And church is not the building, right? I've learned this over the years. Church is worship anywhere, right? Like the building that the church was in, growing up as a child, I was in there, right? That was there. Now it's a Tai Chi place. It's a Tai Chi place. I think. Well, that's what it turned into anyway. I think it's abandoned right now. Or not abandoned, but, empty, for sale, whatever. Anyway, if I had the money, I'd buy it, honestly. It's a really nice building. But anyway, aside from that, right? And before that, that was, down the street in another building. Then they moved to a college for a while we were getting another building after we sold the one that I grew up going to. And now they're in the building that they're in now, right? And as I've stated before, the only reason I stopped going was because I was in a relationship with Maria, who, Catholic. She was a Catholic. So she had different views and everything. And I don't know. I mean, I guess it was because she started working on Sundays with the job that she had. And I had no way of getting to my church. So I just stopped going for a while, right? And then there was the whole homeless thing and blah, blah, blah. And now that I'm back on my feet and it only takes me about 5 minutes to walk to the bus stop that takes me to the church, that's where I've decided, sure, I'll go back there because I was born and raised with that same congregation. I mean, sure, like a lot of my family doesn't go there anymore. We used to be about 75% of the congregation. Now they go to a different church that's closer to where they live, which makes a lot more sense, right? And for whatever reason, they don't agree with, I guess they don't agree with the whole politics and everything that it's changed into. Like I've noticed a lot of changes with that church since I've started going there, right? Like different pastors, different, like they change the whole view of everything. Dude. There. I noticed that the little Build-A-Bear thing wasn't showing, and that's like the biggest part of my logo. But anyway, aside from that, it's changed a lot, right? But I still go there because that's the church that I've grown up going to. That's the only church that I've ever gone to. Except for when I was in Regina, I went to the Salvation Army church there. But the church here, I've only gone to that one. And I will continue going there. Just because that's where I was raised, right? And there's still a bunch of people that I grew up with that still go there, that I talk to and associate with. But I'm not there to beg for money. I'm there to, to learn more about my religion, learn more about being a better person. Stuff like that. Now that I'm able to, now that I'm on my own and not have anybody else to change my mind about stuff. And, oh, no, you can't go. Like, well, Maria never said that I couldn't go. It's just I decided not to go because she didn't want to. The same thing with when I was with Jasmine. There was a while there that I just didn't feel like going because she didn't want to go for a while. And then I decided, I'll go, right? And I made it, what was it? My mother and her husband would pick me up every Sunday to go there and then drop me off after, which was pretty good. But now that they're not going there, I don't have that. So I have to go by bus, which is fine, whatever. As long as I have bus tickets to go to the church, then I will go, right? But if there's ever a Sunday where I can't go, then I just won't. I'll wait until the next Sunday or the next time I have bus fare to go. I don't know. I mean, whatever. Whatever. I'm rambling now. Oh. I got a picture. Wow. All right. Anyway, I'll look at that later. But yeah, so it's just all in perception, really. Like how you look at a person, or you think you know someone, but you don't. Seriously, just because you've known somebody their entire life doesn't mean that you know them. You know who they are. You know what they're doing, right? Especially me, that out in the public, right? I'm online every single day. I upload a vlog every single day, and I will continue to upload vlogs every single day until the day that I am no longer able to upload vlogs, right? So you see that part of me. But there are other things that I'm not sharing because everybody is entitled to have a personal life. And some people just don't get that. And the people that don't get that are toxic people that want to destroy you. Keep that in mind. At least that's the way I see it, right? And as long as those people can no longer comment on my vlogs or message me in any way, then I've done my part to make myself a better person. And yeah. And I can guarantee you right now, this is the last time I'm going to be bringing up these toxic people. They are no longer in my life. I have no reason to talk about them anymore. And yeah, it is what it is. Yes, yes, Susan. I need a shirt that says that. Eventually I'll make one and wear it a lot. Right? On the front it'll say, "It is what it is." And then on the back I'll have this logo right here. right? The channel logo on the back, and in the front it'll say, "It is what it is." Yep. But until then, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just trying to better my life. Make these vlogs, I'm going to make my vlogs better starting in January, right? Because I'm going to start using this camera instead of my phone. I really like the quality of that, right? So it's going to make them a lot better, right? And the only thing I'll use my phone for is the thumbnails. I'll make some very interesting thumbnails for my vlogs. But that's all starting in January, right? I figure new year, new look, new me, new everything, right? Because I'll have my dentures by then, right? So I'll look different. And after having those replicas in my mouth, yeah, I will look different. I like the way that they look. I really like the way that they look in my mouth. I was freaked out the first time I saw it. I almost cried because it was like, oh, I finally have a mouthful of teeth. But yeah, so I'm going to look different. I'm going to, the vlogs will be different. They'll have actual thumbnails, and everything will be a lot better next year in 2025. Guaranteed. But anyway, I have been talking way too long, and this is going to take way too long to upload, right? I'm going to probably be up until about 3 or 4 in the morning uploading this, but hey, whatever. Whatever. But yeah, I've got a pantry haul tomorrow. So I know you like those. So I'll be back with that tomorrow.